Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the Port Charles 411. We are taking a mini break in between the decades of Alan for a little palate cleanser, fan spotlight with Alana.
So I just love, I know I say it about everyone, but I just love hearing everyone's different perspective. And she had us talking about stuff we've never talked about before.
I know, which I feel like we've talked about so many things. How is that even possible?
Exactly.
We do charts.
Shannon drawing maps. It's always a good day.
Channeling my inner Dora. But Alana is the Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook account, Sunny Carly GH, and filled out our fan spotlight form. And we are so glad that she did because we really enjoyed our chat with her. Hey!
Oh.
Can't hear you. No. We can't hear you. Hold on.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Can you?
I can hear you guys great. Sorry.
Okay. Not a problem.
Got it. We're all good.
Isn't technology wonderful?
I thought I had it all set, but there's always glitches, right?
Of course. Always. So hi, welcome to our show. I'm Shannon.
I'm Amanda.
Hi, I'm Alana. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to do this with you guys.
Oh, we're so
especially
excited.
On Halloween. I know you guys have kids, so thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Of course.
We're going to need a break in between the Allen decade.
There's a lot. I don't understand. You guys are going to go all the way through 2007?
We're going through when he passed. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot there.
There sure is.
Yes.
While we're talking about Alan, do you have a favorite Alan memory?
I didn't follow him as much, to be completely honest. Like, I knew who he was on the show. But listening to the recap you guys are going throughout the history of him, I think the whole him ending up in a different town and faking like he has amnesia really is parallel to a lot that's happening now. So I really enjoyed listening to that. It was really funny and entertaining to listen to that.
Well, good. It's making sense, at least.
It is.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into General Hospital. And
so I knew of the show when I was little. There was a lot of us at my grandma's house. It was like a melting pot. So every time I came home from school, I would hear it on and see it on. So I saw like Sarah Brown, Tamara Braun. And then I ended up going to college. I ended up going away to college and I was in a single dorm, which I didn't really understand, but it's fine. And in between classes, I happened to be home. I happened to be back in dorm and have break in between classes. And I caught it with the hostage crisis at the Metro Court.
Oh, okay.
And that's kind of when I was like, I didn't know Laura Wright was on the show yet. So I was like, who's this girl with Sunny? Like, what's going on? And then as I watched it through the course of the 2 weeks, I was like, oh my gosh, that's Carly. There's a whole new Carly. And that's when I kind of fell in love with Carson all over again. And the show, there was a lot of big hitters on that story arc, a lot of like heavy hitters on there. So it was just so cool and interesting to watch. And it's annoying how storylines play out over the course of 2 weeks, but it was very entertaining to watch, very fun to watch. So that's kind of when it all started for me as an adult,
It's like when you started to really become a fan and everything.
Yeah, where I was like following it, making sure I watched it every day. Of course, there was like a couple years gap in between where school got busy and I didn't have DVR, none of that. So I couldn't catch it as much. So I would like go on YouTube to try to follow up, stay up to date with the storylines and all that. But 2007 really caught my interest. And then I started watching every day. I was an adult. I could afford DVR and all that. So 2014 is like, I really never skipped a beat since.
Yep. To all the younger kids out there, like DVR legit changed our lives.
It did. But also, I was talking about this the other day with my cousin, how sometimes not fast forwarding through or not having the ability to fast forward through, you really get to bask in the whole hour of the show. Sometimes I don't anymore, but I feel like at some point you were able to appreciate not being able to fast forward sometimes.
Yep. Well, I remember when I would work after school, I would sometimes start. So this is when it was on at 3. So I would get home like right before it started. So you had to hurry up, grab your snack, go to the bathroom, sit. And then I'm like trying to get ready for work, like in commercial breaks. And then it's like, yep. But if they can hurry up and somehow speed up the last 10 minutes.
That's true.
So that I'm not late for work, that's not how.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense.
I
would try to, VCR recorded all my children sometimes, and it would just be one on top of the other, one on top of the other. And I was into that a little bit, but that was my DVR. The VCR recording.
Exactly.
When I was cleaning my basement, I'm moving. So when I was cleaning my basement the other day, I found a VCR/DVD player, and my son is like, "Why are you even bringing that to the new house?" And I'm like, "Because I still have these."
It's an antique.
Don't make fun of me.
Like, it doesn't still work.
It does.
Well, it'll be worth big bucks someday. It's an antique.
Exactly. Now everyone can watch their old GH tapes. I'll just bring it along to our house.
There's a lot of shows that I have on DVR, like a lot of collection of shows I still like I bought on DVD that, if I end up having a DVD player again one day, I'll love to like pop it in and watch it,
Right. Exactly.
For sure.
It's the Laserdisc people that are really regretting their life decisions.
So funny.
So on Instagram, you are the account Sunny Carly GH.
I am.
How did you come up with the idea that you're like, I just need to dedicate Instagram to these two? Like, what do you go for? Tell us a little bit about that.
So funny story. I was getting a little overwhelmed with my personal page. It was triggering for certain reasons. But I kind of wanted to stay up to date still, like, on the celebrity stuff. I followed a lot of the actors and a lot of other actors and celebrities. So I was like, let me just make I was watching GH one day, and I saw I took a picture of like a still, and I was like, let me make a fake account. No one's going to know it's me. No one's going to follow me. I just want to follow all these people. And I had posted like 1 or 2 pics up of Sunny and Carly. And I started teaching myself. It became just to lurk. And it ended up just being something I enjoyed doing. So I was like, oh, this is how I get more followers. And this is how I get to get people to see my page is hashtags. I had a personal page, but I didn't care who saw what. It was really just my family and friends. And a lot of people started commenting and liking, and I just started, and in lieu of Sunny being gone, you missed Sunny on the canvas, not so much Mike. So I started YouTubing old videos, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like a lot of people would enjoy to see like Sunny and Carly are just really Sunny. So I just started posting it, and I'm just having fun with people just commenting or going in the DM, just chatting with me, whether they disagree or not. It's become a lot of fun. So I'm enjoying it.
That's awesome. So how do you decide what you're going to share? Because like you said, are you just winding up on a video on YouTube and you're like, you know what, I'm sharing this with everyone? Or do you have
so a lot of it is like in my mind, in my brain from like the past episodes. So I'm like, oh my gosh, let me share this. Or if I'm watching an episode and I see, and they just come up with something from the past or a line that I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember that from a past episode. I would post it, especially like in the heat of the moment where the new episode's still kind of fresh. So that's kind of where I get my ideas from. Or if I'm listening to music, I think of the show, I think of them, and I just start posting it. It sounds so silly, but I'm just having fun with it.
We get it.
We have dedicated many hours a week to that. We understand. Well,
it's like, I feel like it's a little more. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I'm like, this just made me, we forgot to talk about this on the recap this week when Michael said about how Sunny and Carly have been married 5 times. They've only been married 4. And I'm like,
it's the vow renewal.
They messed that up.
They did.
But like, that would have been something for, you could have gone and found the video of, no, this is the 4th time we're getting married. And when they got married for real last time is when Eden McCoy made her debut.
That's right. There was no motive behind that marriage. They just wanted to get married. So that was one of the marriages that was genuine. Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like it's authentic because it's in the moment when I post. There's times where like I can think of a really good TBT. So like the day before I'll play in the caption. But for the most part, it's just in the moment. I'm like, oh, let me post this, So yeah.
So do you find that people tend to agree with you more for the love of Sunny and Carly, or do you find that people like to argue with you about?
I think majority, because that's where the page is kind of directed to. So I think the majority of people who follow me and comment like them. And then there's a few people who obviously disagree, which, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I don't mind it. And sometimes they have a point. I don't think they're all butterflies and rainbows, that relationship. Some people really do have a point, to their demise or the toxicity of their relationship. But, I guess, for me and my page, what I'm finding a lot of people agree. On Twitter, it's a totally different story though. I mean, they put the gloves on Twitter.
If you want to get beat up, you go on Twitter.
Right.
For sure. It's fun. And sometimes it's funny. Sometimes it's just mean for no reason. But, yeah, that's a whole different ball game over there.
Yeah.
For sure.
So you had said that your family used to watch it. Do they still watch it now?
No, they'll tell me like, "Oh my gosh, do you still watch that show?" I'm like, "What do you mean? You're the reason why I started watching. What are you talking about?" They're like, "Sunny's still there. Sunny's still with Carly." I was talking to my cousin one day. We went out for my birthday, and I was telling their whole background of Carly marrying Jason for the business, and it turned it into love. And she hadn't watched it in forever, but she was like so appalled, like, "No way, are you kidding? I don't even want to hear no more. So, some of them still know the history. So it was funny, but a lot of my friends are just like, "That's still on." I'm like, "Stop." Well, my family, my friends know, but it's so funny. Yeah.
I don't understand that response. Like, is there an age that we're supposed to stop watching? We've talked about it. There've been times where life just happens, and it was pre-DVR and the technology. Now I couldn't imagine a time where I wouldn't be watching it because
right.
Same. I mean, it's, for us fans, you have to be committed. It's a show that comes on every day. You know what I mean? So whether you're catching up every day or 3 episodes at a time or, the whole week, I feel like you have to be committed, but it's a weird addiction. I mean, even though sometimes you don't enjoy the storyline or you don't agree, you're going to keep watching, either hoping things are going to work out your way or just the drama of it all, So some people, just like you said, life gets in the way and they just don't get caught up with it again, That's basically what it is there.
So what was it? Why did you decide on Sunny and Carly? I'm always fascinated by like what people choose to zero in on. Like, what was it that got you?
So this is going to sound so silly, but when I started watching, I was going through like I was young, and when you're 18, 19, you think you're in love at the time. So, but for me, it was a really bad breakup. I was a very vulnerable person. So it affected me in so many ways. So when I was watching the hostage crisis and I realized, oh, that's Carly, it was just everything about the way they were like there for each other during the hostage crisis, even after it all kind of unfolded. But at the time when I started watching, I didn't know that she was engaged to Jax when I started watching, because he kept saying, "My wife, my wife." Mm-hmm. So like after they went back home, had that night, came back, and she's like, "I'm engaged to Jax." I was like, I'm already going through a heartbreak, and now I find out I had no idea. But it was just, when you're going through it and, you hear them and everything they were saying to each other, even throughout the storyline, I was just so like, let me just hold on to this. This is something. It was more escapism for me, And Sunny he's good looking. He's a great actor. Laura Wright's a great actor. And because they were the first people who kind of attracted me to this show, I just always been a fan ever since.
So I guess the follow-up question is, who's your favorite Carly?
I like Laura Wright now. I feel like in this day and age, Laura Wright is a good Carly. But I really like Sarah Brown. She was just so rough and raw and gutsy. And, at the time, a lot of us young girls would have probably, it's fake, but the passion she had and the fight she had, I kind of related to that a little bit and kind of how irrational she was. I really liked her at the time, but I guess for this day and age, Laura Wright works.
That's a good response. I like that.
Yeah.
Because you're right.
I feel like I didn't answer your question, but.
Well, Carly's mentioned it too. She's like, I did not make good decisions when I was younger. She does some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Those are the best.
She was a villain. She came, I feel like maybe not now.
Oh no, you
froze.
She
was definitely the villain.
You just froze real quick. You were.
Did I?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Am I still frozen?
Nope.
No.
Okay. She was a villain when she came on. Now, not so much, but definitely she was the villain coming on in the beginning for sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're going to need a year to do her.
I would love to hear what you guys have to say about that.
Just revisiting the way that she came to town, and Bobby just mentioned it when she was getting married, when Carly was marrying Jason.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, yeah, she's come a long way from trying to steal my husband.
Stole your husband after.
Oh, totally stole. Yeah. There was no, well, they were trying, but it was, yeah.
Yeah. And then I think it was when she was doing therapy sessions with Lainey, I guess when Laura Wright first came on, what I really found really kind of fascinating is, again, it's soap, it's fake land. But, you know, there was a lot, her coming on the show, but before that, you know, her being with her best friend's dad at the time, her childhood kind of leading all up, I feel like, to her breakdown. You know, I don't feel like it was just Sunny that happened to her. I think she just didn't have time to really process all that she went through as an adult. And I feel like that's kind of where it breaks down. So I found that very interesting, very fascinating. Just, I feel like a little insightful to watch, you know, as she was like going through all those sessions with Lainey. So
I forgot about that. Oh,
There's just so much history there. Oh my gosh.
There's a lot. It's crazy because she's been on the show for a while, as a character for a very long time, and has always been in some big storyline for a long time. Some characters don't get that all the time, you know?
Well, the character is 25 years this year.
That's crazy.
She was 25 years in the spring because they did Alexis's 25-year review or tribute like the week before Carly's 25th anniversary. But I think they're not acknowledging the character being on the show because it hasn't been the same actress.
That could make sense. That can make sense.
Yes, but it's Carly.
The only time but when they did the, during COVID, when they did the Sunny and Carly episodes, no, I'm sorry, not during COVID, when they did the special on the app, when 2019, when she was pregnant with Donna, and they did the whole special,
yeah,
and they put all those episodes, they mixed it with some Sarah Brown, some Tamara Brown, they mixed it with all the Carlys.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
I liked how they brought back all the Carlys for Sunny's 25th.
Yeah.
Like, that was all. Well, not all the Carlys. Still not the third one, whose name I think it's Jennifer. Is it Jennifer?
Bradford or Jennifer Bradford or Branson or something like that. Definitely would it be. Yeah.
Yeah. Poor girl.
Yeah, that was good. It kind of makes you think, you know, like the storyline now. I wonder like how Sarah Brown would have played it, or how Tamara Braun would have played this storyline. It really makes you think, or like even with Nina, I wonder how Michelle Stafford would have played this storyline. I always think about that when it comes to the past actresses, how it would have all played out, you know?
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. Different perspectives, I think. I think they would have wrote it completely different depending on who was playing it, in my opinion.
As they should. I mean, you really can't. That's one of the, Amanda's not a fan of recasting. I mean, I'm not a fan of it, but I at least like when the character changes because of the casting, you know, and is able to make the character their own instead of trying to fill that shoe, you know, because.
Yeah. Even though I think Spencer's recast has been in my opinion, has been a decent recast. I think he came on pretty strong. In my opinion, I think.
I absolutely agree, especially since I'm pretty sure that this is his first role too. If I read correctly, I'm pretty sure that.
Yeah, he was on a podcast with the That's Awesome podcast with Steve Burton, and he said this was like one of his like first big major roles, and he's a young kid, so he was committed, and I think he's doing extremely well for this being a recast. Most of them I'm a little disappointed at, but what can you do?
See,
I didn't see it was. I'm just saying.
You know what? I think I'm okay with the recast, except for like with Nicholas. Not only did we recast, but now we've rewritten history because they don't know who hired who to shoot. It's all ridiculous.
Hayden, yeah, I don't like when they do that either. They get it all wrong,
right?
But
especially,
I don't know if it's intentional. Is it? I can't assume it's a mistake on their part,
right?
I don't. But or is it intentional, or, you know, are they rewriting it for the story to go some other direction that they wanted to go? I just don't understand like how that happens at all.
Mm-mm.
I think if they were going to change it just to change the way that the trajectory of the story, like how Nicholas said this week, oh yeah, Victor saved me and we held each other's secret about being alive. Okay, that's dumb, but it at least explains how each other knows each other's alive, you know?
Exactly.
They could have changed one small piece and still maintained and I don't know what that piece is. Like, I don't really have an idea.
That's true.
But to make it that Sam suddenly didn't know that Nicholas shot Hayden, you know, like all the people who knew suddenly don't know.
Right.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
that just, yeah.
No.
It doesn't. And I don't know if they're just trying to give, I don't want to sound insensitive, but is it to give Sean a storyline to, is that why all these people don't know so they can kind of be in scenes with him and kind of help him figure it out? But you're right. They could have went, they're smart and they're good at what they do, and they could have went in a totally different direction with it.
And they could have still had Sean have a great storyline with going to Laura and being like, hold on a second, you are the mayor now. And I love Laura. Don't get me wrong, but she knows that this man has been incarcerated. That should have been one of the first things she did when she became mayor. Is there a way for her to, or when Nicholas came back,
Exactly.
It'd have been like, no, she should have done it regardless whenever she became mayor, Nicholas alive or not. But that should have been one of the first things they talked about. Like,
agreed.
Okay, that should have been the first thing she did.
Yeah.
Do mayors have, what is that? Pardons? Yeah. Mayors? I don't know if mayors have pardons.
I don't know.
I feel like on General Hospital they can.
The mayor, exactly. On General Hospital, Laura Spencer would have had a pardon. Been like, you know what? I don't believe everything about this.
Right.
Yeah.
And I understand if Sean needed a storyline, why can't his storyline be to go save Hayden? Because we don't know where she's at. Right. She just disappeared after Nicholas blackmailed her or whatever. So where is she? And he could find her to find out all the truth.
I feel like that's the big mystery. And you're right. They could have been, finding Peter and finding Drew, going to Crete. That's a fun story too. But the big mystery is, where is she? Is she really coming back? I don't know. Or are they doing all this? I can't imagine them doing all this to not bring Hayden back.
Right.
But I don't know. That's taking longer than I feel like it should.
We're going to bring Jeff and
Maybe
Hayden back
she
together.
is with Jeff.
There you go.
Oh,
That's a good one. Maybe that's why he called Elizabeth.
That.
Maybe.
He's like, hey, I got your sister.
Yeah. And then they have like Violet involved. It's just asking questions and being intuitive, but that would make sense then to have Hayden with him. Yep. But he's not in hiding. Isn't he like intentionally away?
Yeah, he does like the Doctors Without Borders or whatever, but maybe that's the thing. Maybe he was in some foreign country and that's where Hayden's been hiding. And he's
is keeping her safe, I guess. Yeah.
Ooh,
that would be good.
I like that, Amanda.
I like that a lot.
That just popped in my head. That wasn't some clever thing I had thought of beforehand. That would make sense.
For sure.
Now that they're talking about Jeff.
Yeah.
Or he has a lead on where he is or something.
Which I guess you guys could kind of help me with this part, because Elizabeth isn't happy with him. I get it. He hasn't been around, but the way she's like ripping up pictures, I'm like, does something else happen that we're going to find out? Or like, what's her beef with him?
We don't know. No. We know that she came to live with her Graham in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But at least I was under the impression that it was more of like, they couldn't take the girls, because she does have a sister, Sarah, who has just gone MIA.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know exactly. Did something happen? I was always under the impression it was just her parents were going again overseas to do the doctor stuff and just couldn't take the girls with them. So blah, 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 blah.
Got it.
Yeah, just
she's angry.
She's very angry.
Right.
Yeah. But has she ever really processed the fact that her dad had an affair, she wound up accepting Hayden as a sister?
That's true. That's true.
Maybe it's just now.
Maybe that's where her anger is coming from. You didn't have time to actually spend time with your kids, but you had time to go have an affair. That's convenient.
And have another kid. True.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Still don't know that to be ripping up, though, especially since the kids want to see them.
Right.
And I also thought it was a little interesting because Violet is really intuitive and she's always asking questions. So if this Liz and Finn thing gets serious, it's going to be confusing to her. She's going to be like, what's going on?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like I want to see those scenes where if it happens, kind of how much Violet has to say about it. She's a young girl, but she has lots to say. So
yes,
yeah,
I'm so curious to see how that plays out for sure.
That's a really good
not
point.
A fan of them. I mean, they're cute. I don't know.
No, it's weird. It's just weird.
It's weird. And the way they're going about it, so like high school, and they said it on the show, just like tiptoeing around each other. Like, come on, do better.
Yeah. That will be fun whenever they start actually hooking up, though, because I'm sure he'll say, "Oh, Elizabeth's going to sleep over," and she's going to be like, "Oh, we're having a sleepover in the living room with everyone."
Right?
No,
they would write that in there. That's funny.
Awkward. Yeah,
for sure.
That'll be funny.
For sure. Yep.
Things I didn't think about.
You don't. You really don't until like you get a conversation like this and it just spirals for sure.
Yeah. Well, and then somebody on Twitter the other day asked us to clarify. They're like, aren't Joss and Cam cousins? But Joss is Carly's daughter and Luke is Liz's ex's dad, but Cam's not.
But Lucky's not his biological dad.
No, but that's where they were getting confused. They're like, wait a second, who's dad? Who's Cam's dad? And I'm like, Xander Smith, he's dead. Lucky did raise Cam, but not.
It's so weird. It's just not totally gross weird.
I'm a fan of Elizabeth. I don't mind her, but they've been through so many different dads, those boys. Poor Cam, really, you know?
No.
Yeah.
It is heartbreaking.
It is. She's trying her best, but it's a soap, but it's funny how, you know, every new guy that comes into her life, they kind of adopt as their father and then they disappear. It's sad.
Right. And they just keep killing them too.
That's true. She has a curse on her or something.
Like Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, like Michael. Oh man, Michael. He's Mr. Michael Corinthos I've seen this week. I've seen a lot more Sonny and Michael than I've seen in Sonny, I think.
Yeah. Right.
In my opinion. Mm-hmm. And this is when I feel like I like Chad Duell, but I feel like this is when he's his best, when he's like, quote unquote, in a position of power and just serious and I like it.
I feel like they haven't been giving him really good, like when he found out that he was Wiley's father was amazing. You know, him against Nell was so good. You know, they've had him be very wishy-washy.
Yeah. I guess, I don't know, I don't know if as the character or just the actor in the sense of just trying to find his footing now. I mean, he has a love life again and he's at the Quartermaines and he's a father now. So I feel like maybe that's why he's a little wishy-washy, just trying to figure out how he's going to be a parent to Wiley. And I don't know, but I hope they keep him serious like this. And, you know, I don't mind him and Willow, but I do like the little tension between them.
Yes. There was finally something going on there.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. What do you guys feel about Willow questioning him? What do you,
totally.
I know you guys are going to,
yeah,
for sure. I don't hate it. I just, as viewers, we know that it's not going to be the end of it. Mm-hmm, you know, he's going to keep her in the dark sometimes. They're not going to be this perfect couple. They're not going to be, you know, he tried to compare them to Sonny and Carly. I don't think that's what they're going to be. But I just think he's a very prominent character. He's a Corinthos Quartermaine and he's not going to always share everything with her. She's not always going to agree with him. You know, she's a very sweet, delicate character and she's not always going to agree with him. You know?
And even though Carly doesn't know exactly everything that happens in the business, she knows what's going on in the business. Sonny at least like lets her know, hey, tensions are high right now. So, but Michael pretty much just like drawn the wall and she's like letting him know, no, that's not happening. You know, if you want me in your life, I have to be in your life, not just when, for lack of a better phrase, it's convenient for him. You know, it's convenient for him to have her involved in Wiley. But if he thinks she's going to disagree about something, he's going to shut her out.
No,
that's not a healthy relationship. You know, you can't just, I'm going to let you in on the good stuff that I know that you're going to agree with me on. Well, that's kind of
what true.
Do. But now they're getting divorced because now they're disagreeing. Although she kind of disagreed whenever he, you know, slept with someone else too.
That is true.
They disagreed over that.
Agree with that. But besides that, none of the business stuff, she wasn't really let in.
Before that, they were kind of.
I feel like she was, ish.
But I don't think she wanted to be.
True.
She was like, no.
Yeah, I agree.
She just wanted her kitchen.
She wanted her oven.
I love her. I love her so much. I don't know that it'll end up in a divorce though.
I don't think it is.
No, she's gonna, you know, I don't see it ending up in a divorce. She's angry. She's in denial right now. Maybe not so much angry. She's just sad and in denial. So
yeah,
I don't know. I want to see them work out, but he's not on the show. You know, he's on 2 different shows too. So I don't know if it's convenient for them to break up so she could kind of explore other options too, you know, but
no more other options. We just need someone to stay together. Oh no, you froze again. Okay, there you are.
Better.
Okay. My Wi-Fi's a little finicky. I don't know.
Okay. What else can we talk about?
I don't know. There's so much. I feel like this is one of those conversations that could go on.
I mean, I know you guys are going to do your weekly recap, but I guess I'm curious to know what you guys think of. So I have a little issue with Nina, with her saying Jocelyn broke my heart. And then her not being sorry about how it affected Carly. So I just feel like that you're not sorry at all. That's my opinion.
Right.
And I don't know.
She got caught and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's really it. And I don't like how she's walking around with a puppy face in front of everyone else. And then with Carly, she has her fangs out. So you're not really sorry, like.
Carly called her out on that this week though.
She did.
She was like, you're walking around always playing victim. And she's like, that's not the truth.
No, that's exactly what Nell did, which I did like how Michael brought up Nina triggering Nell for him, and which is why he got angry. I understood why he was angry, but that kind of clicked for me. That made a lot of sense. I really enjoyed him kind of putting those lines in there, and him not really knowing Nina's next move. Is it going to be parallel to Nell's next move? So I thought that was really cool,
Yeah.
But it's crazy how the Nell Ninas in the past 4 years have been the one really messing with Sunny and Carly's family. That's insane.
It is. And how they're making it, seriously, like I would not have seen Michelle Stafford pulling off, not that she couldn't have pulled off this line, but I could not see her doing what Cynthia Watros is doing right now. And I think Cynthia Watros is an amazing actress. So as much as I hate what Nina's doing right now, I'm glad to see them pushing what a great actress she is.
Yes. And I feel like this is when we're going to see it more, because during the whole Nixon Falls thing, she was just always on edge. She always looked kind of like just nervous all the time that something happened. So now that it's all out and she's comfortable, this is when we're going to see her do good. Is it going to irk us? Yes, but I think she's going to do good. I just don't know how far they're going to take this, honestly, with at least Sunny and Carly. Or with Sunny and Nina. I don't know how far that's going to go.
So do you think that there's a chance that Sunny might still have feelings for Nina or remember what Mike felt when he looked at Nina?
I think absolutely. I think that's why he kind of wants everyone. He's playing it off like everyone just be happy I'm home. When really, I think that's why he's kind of like wants everyone to like be soft on her and not really go after her. Mm-hmm. I think he's sure that he loves Carly. He's sure about his family. I think he's unsure about Nina. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Is Nina crazy enough to pick up on that and play on that? Or is she really going to or is she going to use this whole what they had to their advantage when it comes to the court case? I don't know. I don't know. But because there's feelings there, the writer's going to kind of push them together. I don't know. There's going to be issues. I just don't think Jason's going to be part of that issue anymore.
I don't picture Nina and Sunny together. And she even said, who'd she say that to? Phyllis? She's like, I don't like Sunny Corinthos.
Right.
So at least
but she doesn't she doesn't like Sunny, but I don't think she realized how much he's kind of advocating for her in the background. I don't think he realized it's like, just leave me alone, yada, yada, yada. But I don't think he realizes how much he's like really pushing, like, let's just let it be. Or his reasoning behind it. So that might soften her up towards him. I don't know, but that's pretty interesting.
He did tell her that whatever Michael decides regarding Wiley is what Michael decides regarding Wiley, and that because she was really going after him about that. And he's like, he's like, I have nothing to do with that boy's brain.
That's true. Yeah. Clearly he doesn't know what's going on in Michael's head. That's funny. I don't know. A lot of characters I saw that were redeemable, and I started to fall. I loved how Ava kind of turned her character around, and Valentine turned her character around. I'm not really here for Nina turning it around. I don't really see any redeemable qualities about her, but she might be there for the long haul. So who knows?
Yeah. Well, she kind of already has. I mean, when she came on, she just came out of a coma.
Oh, that's right. She worked Avery. That's right.
And she had a really difficult. She was doing some messed up stuff then. Yeah, but
that's true.
Pulled herself back up. I think now she's backsliding, but now she's knowing that she's backsliding. Like she's intentionally choosing these things.
Exactly. She was a little crazy back then. Now she knows it, and it's. I don't know. I'm excited to see. Obviously, it's drama. We all want to see it. I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm just a little nervous about it all. That's all.
I think she's going to wait and use it for the court case so that it hits the papers. And that's how Carly's going to find out. It'll be a news headline.
Oh.
That's true. Or she'll be in the court during the trial.
Right. And
when, like, if Sonny has to go on the stand and I don't know, you know, and they're asking him questions, and this would be the one time Sonny is not lying on the stand.
Right.
Don't make Sonny say it on the stand.
No.
Make Nina say it on the stand, looking Carly dead in the eye.
Or Phyllis. Phyllis isn't going to lie on the stand.
Oh,
you know, they're going to
that's
bring her
true.
into it.
Yeah.
She's going to do, you know, she's going to do the best she can to kind of not out him, but she's going to tell the truth.
yeah.
So,
That
I don't
would be
know.
good.
Jax, like, they're going to pull everyone in. Jax. Who knows if they'll pull Peter into the court case? He was there at some point. There's going to be a lot of people pulled in there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they ever
I don't
catch
know.
Peter, I mean, yeah.
That's annoying. I mean, I don't hate him. I just, I don't know. If they're going to make him a true villain, keep him on the canvas for more than a day instead of having him dip in and out. You know, it's the one scene we got where he shot Drew and Valentine. That was like fun for 2 minutes. You know, I want to keep seeing more of that, you know? So,
Yeah. That day was so disappointing because they open and you're like, oh my gosh, yes. And then, nope, it's over. That's done. We're going to talk about
That's
other
it.
stuff. Yeah.
Or
I
where
just found
did he
it
and
funny
Drew
how-
go? Where's Liesel? Like,
Right.
where did they go? Although, okay, so how much do you think some of this is still choppy because of how they have to shoot because of COVID?
Good point. Good.
I wonder how
point.
much
I think
they
a lot
have
of
to limit-
a lot of it the way they do the scenes. I think a lot of it has to do with how they shoot COVID, you know, and who's available at the time, or who I don't know if they give them an option, like, are you comfortable shooting, or what's your, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I'm so interested to know how they do that too. Like, during the kissing scenes, like, do they have to like quarantine for 2 weeks before they have a kissing scene, or, you know, how many people can they kiss in a month? You know, stuff like that. I'm so curious to see what happens there.
Yeah.
You
I would
know,
like that number. How many people are you allowed to kiss in a month?
because when Sonny was kissing Nina, and then Jason and Carly were kissing, you know, a few times, I'm like, we're never going to see this Carson reunion because they're not going to be allowed to like kiss so many people, you know? So I was wondering how that plays out into everything.
It's like, do they have a limit of how many people are allowed on set? Because you'll notice that, because there was an entire week or two without Chase, you know, and like certain people will be gone for the entire week, where we would have at least seen them at some point. But it's like, maybe they just really try to limit their days to, okay, if you're in multiple, then you're going to be in.
Or that's really true. I just thought it's funny how everyone goes out there to find Drew, to find Peter. You know, they think Drew's dead. They think Peter's on the run again. And no one cares about Liesel anymore except for Britt and Jason. I thought that was funny. Everyone's back at Port Charles. I love Liesel, but everyone left, you know? So now Britt and Jason have to figure it out.
Or like Scott wasn't around at all last week.
Scott didn't come. I thought he was going with them to Crete. He didn't go. I love him. He's so funny. He's so artistic at what he does as an artist. He's so funny. He's great. I don't know.
Legacy.
He is. He really is. I when he first came on, I wasn't watching then. Was he always just so like quirky and funny and like his little punchlines?
I don't know if he was in the very beginning, like with the whole love triangle with Laura and stuff.
Like back in the 70s?
Yeah, I don't know if he was funny then, but like
I wasn't alive yet though either.
There was I. Thank you. I was there. Wasn't in
You
the
were born in the 70s.
either. I wasn't born in the 70s.
Oh yeah, you're 80.
I'm
I'm
80,
sorry.
thank you. Anyway.
Some people think that the decades end in the 0, not in the, and they start in the 1. So depends on who you talk to.
I'm sorry that your people are wrong.
I didn't say it was me. I was just saying.
I'm 80s, and so we are in the same decade. Anyway, in the late 80s, early 90s, he was funny. So I don't know when.
I feel like he's always had, I don't know, I feel like he was always sleazier.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
But yeah, like, I don't know if he's been as comedic, like with his like little one-liners and quips and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a really good question for our listeners. If you've been watching Scotty since
definitely
the 70s, you know, has he always been, because I don't even think in the research that we've been doing recently, we haven't really watched him.
So he hasn't been involved in any of like the Alan storylines or anything like that, huh?
He was part of whenever Alan and Lucy were together, he was going after Lucy at the same time.
Yeah.
So you'll hear more about that as we get into the 90s. But
we're just starting to get into that. Yeah.
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 We'll watch them. Well, we will try to watch the YouTubes and we'll have a better answer.
I don't have the answer either. I was just curious because he's great. And I feel like you could tell. Yeah, you could tell they all have a good time with him in the scene too. You know, for sure. It's so funny. What do you guys think about I think you guys kind of mentioned this already in one of your podcasts, how you're not ready for Britt to go running back to Jason. Yeah.
No.
Do you think that should happen at some point though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Really upset that it got interrupted, but very thankful that they are keeping her true to her character of the, no, that,
Right. I'm not second choice.
yes.
I think it's going to take him saying no to Carly for whatever reason for her. And that could be a good story or a good few scenes where he's like, I can't be there. I'm here helping Britt. And before him and Britt even get romantic again, just like choosing Britt.
Right.
I feel like it'd take that for her to like get that sparkle back for him. But I do want to see it. I think they had great chemistry, great scenes. She brings something out of him where Sam was always serious. So she brings like a smirk or something out of him sometimes in the scenes, and she jokes a lot. So she brings a different side of Jason out. I want to see that. I want to see her at a Corinthos family Christmas. I just want to see it all.
Yes.
She'll be really good with the other characters for sure.
I think that the scene that she had with Carly about saying, you always come first, I think that might have a real impact on Carly, and Carly's going to possibly tell Jason, I keep getting in your way, because she wasn't saying it in the way that, cause I mean, we've seen Liz and Sam and, Robin all yell at Carly, and all attack her. Britt didn't do that. Britt was like, I can't be with him because you're always going to be first, but she didn't do it in a nasty, accusatory,
or tell her to back down. It was just like, she was just like, your relationship.
Yep.
Yeah. You're right. It is what it is. And I don't want no part.
So
that's true.
That could possibly, like, when Britt and Jason come back, will Carly be like, all right, I have to let you go a little bit, have to let you go be in love, like go find somebody.
You don't see Carly kind of running, or maybe not romantically, but like after all this blows up in her face with the Nina Sunny thing, you don't see her really needing Jason and, kind of wanting his support and all that.
Yeah.
Or
that's a good point.
I think she's going to want his support, but I don't think it's going to go romantic again. I think she's kind of like been there, done that.
Or will that be when she realizes, oh shoot, Britt's right.
Oh, maybe. There you go.
Like he comes running every time I say something.
Or maybe that'll be when he finally says no.
Yeah.
Or I hate to say this out loud, but what if she's like, wow, Jason really was the one for me. Like he really did never lie to me, loved me. And I don't know if that'll bring up I do feel like to the audience from General Hospital, I think to us, they basically made it known, like they kind of ended that relationship. That's what I thought, but then as we see all this spiral out of control with Nina, Sunny, Carly, I don't know if it'll bring anything back with that. I hope not, because I feel like General Hospital kind of deaded it, but I don't know. This year, you don't know what route General Hospital has been taking.
True.
So.
Not a clue.
Exactly.
No, that's a really good point. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Who do you think that Esme is? Who do you think she's connected to? Esme.
When I first saw her, or when she had the Kiki card, obviously, I'm like, definitely Ava. At some point, maybe Ava had another kid or family member, something. Definitely Ava.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to believe Ryan, but I feel like it's too obvious. They're making it too obvious for her to be connected to Ryan.
Right.
In my opinion, because of her fascination with him, because of her getting the internship and going to be by his side. I feel like that might be too obvious. I don't know. I feel like I would even love it to be like a Nina connection somehow, some way. I don't know. That's what I want. I don't know. I honestly feel like it's a coin toss. I don't know. I'm still lost with that one. I probably should know. I can't guess.
Well, because she's much younger than Nell.
That's true.
And she would have been that doesn't stop anyone ever, though, anyway.
Right.
Coma or not. But Ryan doesn't have, hold on. Nell's dad. We don't know who Nell's dad is.
It was, isn't it
Silas.
Carly's stepfather? Nell's dad? Wasn't it Carly's
That
stepfather?
was adoptive.
Oh, that's right. So you're right. That's right. So whoever her real parents are.
Nell is Nina's daughter from Silas, right? Because she was in a coma and the nurse.
Oh, right.
Okay. Yeah. Hold on.
No, Silas? Oh, duh. Oh
Nina,
my God.
Silas.
I just rewrote stuff. Not even right.
Okay.
You're
so hold on.
right.
Silas also had Kiki with Ava. So that's why
so they would have been sisters.
Because Ava was actually a mom to Kiki and Nina couldn't be to, well, no, hold on. So Nell and Kiki are sisters.
That's right. Because when Sasha was playing to be Nina's daughter, Nell and Kiki Sasha and Kiki were sisters, but they really weren't, they weren't that close, but they did acknowledge that. That's right.
Okay.
But Esme's parents have money because she mentioned a trust fund.
Yes. And Nina came from money.
Mm-hmm.
Nina did come from money.
So do you think but she's so much younger than Nell, so it's not like Nell could be a twin.
No.
And Silas was not a dad to Kiki, so it's not like she's mad at but none of these people other than Ava make sense.
You're right. I don't know. So maybe Ryan. I just don't know who with who.
Right. Who would hook up with Ryan? He's such a,
Well, and it couldn't be Felicia, because we talked about that.
Right.
Because Ryan had a thing for Felicia.
Mm-hmm.
But it was never, unless they do the whole stupid phase on, supposedly slept with Anna thing, and then that wound up not happening because
that was
actually
silly.
Alex.
Just like Helena and Victor all of a sudden. I mean, I love that Valentine's a Cassadine again, but that was silly. We didn't need that story.
Right? But didn't the DNA prove that he was not
right? No matter what, he wasn't a Cassadine. Yeah.
Didn't they do a DNA test?
I think because they knew he was Helena's, or
right.
You're right.
But he didn't have the Cassadine gene, right?
Right.
Oh God.
Someone, maybe Nicholas messed with that DNA test. So
so if you started watching in 2007, do you know who Lila Ray is?
Lila Ray is
Alcazar's daughter?
Lorenzo and Sky's daughter.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Somebody on Twitter suggested that could be who Esme is.
I love that. And if that's the case, I love how there's tension between her and Jocelyn because Lorenzo and Sunny were rivals. That would be cool. But she technically
we're really
be a
trying to think
quartermain
through all this. And I'm like, we're mapping it out.
Right.
I'm like,
but she'd be a quartermain.
Thanks, Dora.
I love that. Maybe, but if that's the case, she'd be fighting to be part of the quartermains and fighting for that money, right? Isn't Sky technically a quartermain or?
No. They thought she was Alan's daughter, and then she wound up not being Alan's daughter, but he still liked her, and Lila loved her.
Yeah.
So that's why Lila Ray is named Lila Ray. Oh my gosh, we have to do Sky. Time.
Sorry.
No, not you. We want to know this stuff.
The list is never ending of the stuff we decided.
No, but it's cool because maybe as you do the research, things might start making sense that's happening now too, like that really.
Oh, we'll be talking about Sky soon because she came in the 90s.
Yes.
So cool. I don't know what we'll find. We will be talking.
She's a good character. It's like you love to hate Esme.
Yeah. And Sky was involved with Jax.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jax was the girl. Okay. I'm like, okay, she hates all these people. Esme hates everybody except for Spencer.
Right. And I don't think she really
But does she really like Spencer?
Right. Exactly. She's just using him.
This week I thought, since he's been arrested, I think she does see him as a means to an end. But I do think that there is some level of care there that whether it is like a codependency. So it might not be healthy, but she really depends on him being.
I believe, I'm like, is she really ride or die? Is there a motive? Whatever, even if there is a motive, you're seeing some sort of care. Whether she cares or not in real life, you see that on screen. Like, okay, she's showing some sort of compassion towards him,
Yeah.
So,
like telling him to,
I don't know,
really mend things with her. She has a real motive behind him mending things with his dad.
Right.
But what is it?
I don't know. Is she somehow connected to Victor? And you know what I mean? And because now we know he's going to come back on the canvas, obviously, know, so are they all going to be in the Cassadine house together? Victor, Ava, Spencer. That's going to be so cool to see. Because they're such good actors too.
Yes.
I feel like Esme doesn't really have money and she's after the money.
Also, she's acting like maybe that whole trust fund thing was a lie just to show.
Because she keeps saying she can't access it. So what's the point of having it?
That's so true. That's so true.
Every time
she see her in all these nice,
they turned it down.
You see her in all these nice clothes and all that. Nice clothes.
Let's not lie though. I would love her hair.
Oh, I mean, so pretty.
I loved her little relaxed fit court look she had. It was like kind of like jersey material, but it was still a skirt. I loved everything about that. Yeah.
Yes.
She's fun. She's funny.
At least
what do you guys think about It is. What do you guys think about wardrobe in general? Like, are there some characters you're like, they could do a lot better? Some characters you're like, dial it down? I'm always curious to know what people think about that.
I think the first person who pops in my head when we talk about it, and we forgot to talk about this on the recap, Willow doesn't dress that way. Like, now they have her in those cocktail party dresses all day, every day. And it's like, no, you're a t-shirt and jean girl.
Yeah.
But
no
since
matter
you're in
what,
the Quartermain Mansion, now suddenly because I don't think they have a dress code. Maybe they do. Quartermain Mansion has a dress code that we don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Olivia's always in nice dresses, always wearing something nice.
Yes.
She always looks like she has somewhere to go and she's just hanging
She
out.
always has.
That's true.
Right. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
I was wearing that black dress with the red flowers earlier in the week, and I'm like, where were you?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep. She just
Came out of the nursery.
come. That's it. Who else was I going to say? I noticed how when Sarah Brown married Sonny, you could see her wardrobe kind of change in the 90s and this is with me going back and YouTubing it. She was like jeans too, or button ups. And then as she married Sonny, you see her with the purses, the wardrobe, the silk button ups. I know, I saw that transition, but I'm not really, I love Carly. I don't like her wardrobe now. I just think you own a hotel, you're a mob wife. I just want to see her in like fur coats. And she wears the heels really good, but I don't know. I think they could do a lot. She could be more like Ava-esque. Ava, I love Ava's wardrobe.
Yeah.
And that's always remains when she first came on the show.
And that's the next step that Willow should have taken, was dressing more like Carly, not going straight to Olivia.
Right.
She missed the whole middle.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't like Maxie's wardrobe either. That's always hit or miss.
Same.
Like,
oh
she
my
looks
gosh,
so good
same.
one day, and then you're like, did they just throw a garbage bag on her? Why does she look like that?
No, I don't. And then they'll do like eyeshadow, which is nice, but it just doesn't go with the outfit. But you're so right. She's always, and she wasn't like that. Remember when she was working for Crimson, wearing the nice peplum dresses and all that?
Exactly.
Yes, you're right. That totally completely did a 180 for sure. And Trina, I feel like they could dress her a little more mature. Trina.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They do good with Jocelyn, and they're all the same age. I feel like Trina's still wearing like the sneakers and the skinny jeans. And I don't know. I feel like for her and Spencer, for the optics of it all, I'd like to see a different wardrobe for Trina.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me being judgy, I guess.
Do you think that Trina and Spencer will be together?
I want to see that happen, but now that the actress is on recurring now, so I want to see
growing
that
up
happen.
and getting college educations in real life.
I know, how dare them? No. I want to see that happen. And they're so young now, so they could really mature throughout the years in their relationship. But I don't know. Spencer's full time. She's recurring. I'm sure they could somehow make it happen, but
yeah,
I want to see it. I really do want to see it. I think it's cute. And I really think it's Trina's another like very smart, intuitive, observant girl who could really, ground Spencer. And I think he needs something like that. He doesn't need somebody like Esme gaslighting him.
Right.
You know?
Right.
That's something I wasn't really happy with, was how the secret of Spencer's stuff came out, because it made Trina, Joss, and Cam feel bad.
Right.
Even though all the adults are like, don't, like, they still did. And it shouldn't have, it should have been like, because Trina was like, she felt like she messed up.
Right.
But I feel like their motive was more to kind of get Esme too. It was like, let's make Spencer tell the truth, but their motive was to get Esme. So I could see why they felt bad.
Yeah.
But you're right. They could have made them kind of sweat it out a little bit, for sure.
But she deserved for that to be a triumphant thing of, I know it was you that sabotaged me. Like, that should have been a much bigger blow up.
Right.
Than him just, I'm so sorry that I poured fake blood on you.
That's true. Because it was really the lie of it all, not just about the blood. The way he like played her since he got into town, he'd said he was someone else. So the lie of it all, for sure. She should have just felt gratification just for what he did to her in that sense. Yeah, for sure.
I would have loved to have seen like a good tell-off scene. That had to have been traumatizing. You have a stranger in your art gallery and suddenly you're covered in fake blood. Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to go back to the gallery I'm a punk as it is.
But I guess once you start being kidnapped, maybe that changed her perspective a little bit, So
that's so true.
I don't know.
That's so true. At this point, all the teens, we don't know so much about Esme, have really been through something traumatic at this point. So they've lived, I guess in Soapland, they've lived life. So, they're ready for anything coming at them. So we'll see. What do you think about Josh and Cam?
They're cute. I don't know. They're too cutesy still right now. So not that I want to see them rush that relationship, but they do need to start handling more mature content. Like Joss is in college. Why are we not seeing her, pressured into drinking or trying drugs or something like that? Instead of just.
Well, we saw the drinking when she was in high school.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, I'm like,
but then it stopped.
But that was like one time.
Well,
that was one time.
Yeah.
But it seems like college hasn't changed her social life at all, and that's not realistic.
Exactly.
That's
what I mean.
They should be struggling. I have to be
other
studying.
people. Yeah. You don't just go to Kelly's to study with Trina. You're hanging out with other kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're studying two different things. So how are they having so many classes that are this? I mean, freshman year, I guess most colleges is
general classes are the same, but still.
Yeah.
But I mean,
there's a lot they could do there because I feel like Jocelyn, Eden McCoy isn't recurring. She's on contract. So they could do a lot, but Cam is recurring.
Mm-hmm.
So they could do a lot with, I think Joss and Spencer, because when he first got into town, you saw little, he was like Mr. Suave, Mr. Cocky, and she wasn't taking it. She was being funny. So I saw little like young Sonny and Carly and Joss and Spencer when he first came to town. So I'd love to kind of see where that goes, but again, not at Trina's expense, just maybe.
I haven't considered that
Emma. Because who?
It was Emma. To see Jocelyn trying to pick between Spencer and Cam is weird because it was always Emma.
Yeah.
It was. And
that's all the references they keep doing.
Yep.
It was Emma, not
They're making
Joss.
it towards Jocelyn. Yep. That's true. I don't know.
Well, that just got me thinking because Esme seems to always have compliments for Cam. That would cause some real drama of let's make Joss too busy doing volleyball practice and studying and all that. And Cam's working. Let's get Esme a job and put them in close contact and put that drama of, because I mean, they should be struggling with some of the challenges that come along with starting college.
And that would make sense. If Esme really doesn't have money, she could take the job at Kelly's also to make Spence feel better. But then as Cam is talking about his family struggling some, she can identify with that and then we'll learn that she doesn't have money.
There we go.
Love that.
It all up.
And that may very well happen. I feel like I don't know if it'll be like a romantic thing, but they're going to definitely push Cam and Esme. Cam's going to have Esme's back, at some point.
And he's kind of already done it he's had a lot of empathy towards Spencer, which I've enjoyed seeing them, let bygones be bygones. They're actually cousins. Like they need to be, well, they don't need to be, but
it would be nice if they could get along. Yeah.
I mean, at this point, now that Spencer kind of understands Cam's life a little bit, I think they should be, kind of having each other's back now. And, I feel like I don't think Spencer appreciated that they outed him, but I think he understands why. I don't think he's really that mad at them. I just really think he wants their friendship back.
Yeah. Right.
So I don't know. I like it. I think they really give the teams really decent storylines,
Yeah. Well, and that's something that we had been saying for a long time. Like they need to start giving them more than just the kid storylines because they're the future of the show.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we get hooked in. When we were teenagers, we got hooked in by, Les and Lucky. Lucky and Liz. Lucky and Liz was like my first, I want that,
Mm-hmm.
Now you don't want that.
Now I don't want that. I don't know.
Lucky's
in Ireland. I would be in Ireland with him.
Well, you're assuming that your marriage to him would last.
There's that.
Or you could be a single mom to 3 boys.
Yeah. No.
That was weird what they did with that character though. Like he was a cop. Okay, he went off on a little bender, but I was so just to have him like kind of follow Luke's steps and just disappear and leave town. I don't know. I didn't want that for Lucky. That was a little odd that they did that with him.
Yeah. I don't want him recast, but even if that's what they had to do to have Lucky be around, it would have made more sense. I don't see him being that kind of dad that would just abandon his kids like that.
Right.
No, he fought to, kind of stay in Cam's life and it wasn't his kid. And he fought for Jake and it wasn't his kids. So that was very odd that they just had him leave, you know?
Yeah.
And if they would have recasted him at least then when he left, when they would have recasted him then, enough time would have went by where he could have made the character his own. So
Yes.
And they've already recast him twice, you know, and each actor was different. But like Greg Vaughn did a really good job as a recast of Lucky.
I loved him.
You know, Jonathan Jackson.
He was good with
will forever always be Lucky. You know, that's
true.
Right. But you're right. Like,
he was good with the, when Maxie was giving him the pills, he was, the way he played that, the way he played the addiction. Oh my gosh. Everything about that was, again, little grimy on Maxie's part, but it was a good story. It was a really good story. And he played that so good, you know? Yeah. That was awesome.
And I like that she still brings, I mean, she doesn't bring it up like all the time, but like she reminds people of her past. She's like, no, remember, I actually was a horrible person. You know, like I did these things. I've just grown from it. And now here's where.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you look at her and she similar to Willow, very vulnerable, very like soft character, but she's not so innocent, you know, so we might even see Willow go through some very, you know, kind of not make some very good decisions and, you know, make bad decisions sometimes too. But, you know, I do like that Liz is a little complex in that sense, you know.
Who would Willow make a bad decision with? Maybe she'll team up with Austin. And she'll be like, yeah, I'm really kind of sick of this whole Quartermaine conniving stuff too. I understand you.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know either, but okay.
Mm-hmm. Somebody. Maybe Nina. She's really advocating for Nina. She may not say it. She may not say it out loud. She's mad that Michael made these decisions behind her back. But a low key, I think she's advocating for Nina. And that might draw a wedge eventually down the line. She has a soft spot for Nina, whether she admits it right now or not.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, there's still hope she's Nina's daughter, but we'll see.
That's a whole other thing. We're not going to get into that chart. So real quick, what are some hopes that you have for the storylines that we're currently in? You know, what do you hope happens? I know we kind of talked about most of them, but like, is there anything that we didn't touch on that you're like, I hope that this happens?
I want to see the Nina thing be done and over with. I want to, you know, you're going to see Sunny and Carly kind of go through it, but I want to see Sunny and Carly deal with the mob more. At some point she was in control. Now Sunny is, and I just want to see them make, you know, her kind of push herself into making decisions with him where he's like, oh no, you know, this isn't your turf now. And she's like, oh yes, it is. I know a lot. Like I want to see them at a 5 families meeting together.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see with them. I think that'd be a lot good material. That's a good story too, you know? And I want to see a lot of Sunny and Cyrus. We didn't see that because Sunny was away for 9 months. So I want to see a lot of Sunny and Cyrus if Cyrus does come back. Those are my hopes when it comes to the mob part of it all.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, this has been so much fun.
Yeah, same.
I don't think we've ever talked fashion with,
No.
I feel like we could have an entire whole conversation on that alone. So let's definitely talk about that again sometime.
Yeah, for sure. I'm in for sure.
So just let everyone know where they can find you on social media. How can they follow you and everything?
At Sunny Carly GH on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Perfect.
To get some really fun content.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. This was fun. I appreciated it.
We'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Yeah. Have a good day.
I know we say this every single time. See? So much fun. I mean, I didn't want it to end. I couldn't believe that we had already...
That hour flew.
But I loved the fashion question.
Yeah.
Hadn't thought about wardrobe. I mean, I know we think about wardrobe, but it didn't occur to me until she started talking about that. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I've been really annoyed that Willow's wearing all these fancy schmancy dresses because I'm sorry. Does she have a job right now?
No.
I don't feel like she'd be a kept woman. And I feel like that's kind of what they're making her to be, because if she's not buying those dresses, somebody's buying them for her.
She's a student because she's trying to learn all her nursing stuff. And she's a mom of a young toddler. You're not wearing fancy dresses all day, every day.
No.
You can wear cute clothes, like, by all means. You don't need to be...
she had been wearing.
Right. You don't need to look like a slob, but at the same time, that's just not practical. You're not playing with blocks and high heels and miniskirts.
And not for the life that she gives us the impression that she wants.
Right. Exactly.
You know, Olivia has always dressed in that powerful...
Right.
You're not messing with me. I got heels.
I got heels.
But no, Willow's Willow's been more down to earth and a flats girl.
Right. And she brought up Trina. I feel like Portia always looks amazing.
Yes.
So Trina would have that same fashion sense. Not that she doesn't look adorable, but yeah, a little more
I
mature.
wouldn't say that because I go to my daughter for fashion sense. She dictates my wardrobe some days. I give her the options.
Megan told me the other day that she needs to take me shopping so we can just fix this. And I was like, wow, thanks. But Portia knows what she's doing, so I think Trina would.
Well, and where Trina is so into the arts, you would think that she would
be a little more risque in the things that she's wearing. Not like...
Why are you going into risque?
Not risque, like inappropriate, but I mean taking risks, like with what she's wearing, like bolder colors or different patterns.
Or is that us putting a stereotype on what artsy people do?
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Well, it is.
It is, but sometimes the stereotypes don't fit everyone, but they fit a lot of people, which is how they become a stereotype. And I feel like she's so into art and stuff. And she does wear bright colors. I just think she'd go a little more out of the box.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, yes. So definitely follow Alana on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at SunnyCarlyGH. And join us on Monday as we recap this week's shows and see if anything that we just talked about came true.
Have a good weekend.
And we'll meet you at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to peer54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platforms. Don't forget to leave us a review.
And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Peer 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at peer54podcast@gmail.com.